Hello friends, thank you so much for being here once more. For all my regular viewers and subscribers, I appreciate you. I also appreciate you if you are just here for the first time. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Valerine. Now on this channel we do DIY tutorials that will help you to make it home wherever you are. We help you to make it home. And so in this lesson, we will be looking at cafe curtains. Let's start by defining cafe curtains. What are cafe curtains? Cafe curtains are curtains that are usually sitting just about halfway up the window, so it covers the bottom half of the window. Now I can see in my mind's eye people sitting in a cafe and they're sitting at their benches by the window, and those short curtains just halfway up the window covers the bottom off of the window, and so it gives them a little privacy, but at the same time letting light in from above, right? So those are cafe curtains. However, it can actually be extended 3/4 of the way up the window if you so choose. Now cafe curtains are generally used, as I mentioned before, for privacy, right? They can be lined or they can be unlined. Now whether or not you line your cafe curtains depends on if you want to let more light through that curtain while getting that semi-privacy, then you won't want to line it, right? Also, lining helps to protect your fabric, right, from the sunlight, because cafe curtains are generally sitting there. They're not pulled to the side, and they're usually in just one piece. They're not in two panels like regular curtains are, right? And so if they're always sitting there, chances are they may fade over time. So lining will help with that. And actually you can get fabric which is said to be fast dyed, fast, FASTDYED, which means that the color is more resistant to fading, so it will last longer. Now, what fabrics should we choose for our cafe curtains? Well, it's a personal thing. However, generally cafe curtains are made from cotton fabric, whether it's 100% cotton or it's a cotton blend, right? I also mentioned that you should try to get fabric that is fast dyed, which means that it will resist fading more. And another thing to keep in mind is that 100% cotton will tend to fade easier than a cotton that is blended with some other form of content like polyester. Be aware that cafe curtains tend to be for cottage, country, or a casual look, right? Your cafe curtain can be mounted inside your frame or it can be mounted outside your frame. If it's mounted inside the frame, then definitely it will sit on the sill of the window. If it's mounted outside your frame, then you can take it to about an inch or so below the apron. Also, when you're choosing your fabric, make sure you think about what's going to be exposed on the outside when you look through the window, right? And generally I would say that if you're using it in a window that is in the front of your home, you try to line it, right? Because having a consistent look across the board in your front windows will create that cohesion, and it won't look too pitchy patchy from the outside when either you or passers-by look at your windows, right? Let's look at heading styles. The heading style is generally how the top of the curtain looks. Now, one of the style that you can use for your cafe curtain is a scallop design. So it's usually like this, and then you have the sunken area, because these are the scallops. Now, if you use scallop heading, then you will need to have rings such as these. These rings are made from metal. They're also made from wood. They are different sizes. And so what you would do is literally this little hook part here, you would stitch it onto this part of your heading. Now you could extend this part of the heading long enough so that you could literally flip it back behind the curtain and stitch it, and that will create a combination of a looped or a tab top plus a scallop on the heading, so it creates more interest, right? And if you are going to do like a tab or a loop heading, then basically this is what it looks like. It's just straight across, straight up, looped. Okay, a common one is just a casing. Now it's referred to as a casing. It's also referred to as a tunnel top. It's also referred to as a rod pocket, because that is where the rod goes through, right? And so yeah, this is a very common one, and maybe the easiest one to do, apart from if you buy heading tape at your fabric store. Now, heading tape can be pinch pleat, whether it's single, double, triple. It can also be pencil pleat. But yeah, this is also an easy way to go, where you would basically just stitch the top of your curtain and stitch the tape onto the back of the curtain. Now, some of these tapes, or most of them, will require some form of hooks and rings that you will use to install them onto the curtain rod, right? So, and I'm sure there are a myriad of other ways that you can make the heading of your cafe curtain, just like you would make a regular curtain. Think about the top of your window. You're going for privacy at the bottom. However, if you have a valance at the top, then it would help to frame the window a little more, and the treatment would definitely look more complete. Now, whatever heading you use at the bottom on the cafe curtains, then I would suggest that you use the same. If you're going to do rod pocket at the bottom, then you do rod pocket at the top. If you're going to do scallop at the bottom, do scallop at the top. So you get the consistency, right? Now, there's no hard and fast rule as to how low to hang your valance when you have a cafe curtain. It's really a personal choice, but what I would suggest is that, for example, if after you have hung your cafe curtain, you have 3 feet left above, I would suggest not coming more than a feet down on the window. If you want the valance to look longer, then you can mount it above the frame, and so that you get it to look longer. Now, there is also a thing where you can have a layered topper over your cafe curtain. However, that layered topper is generally in 2 panels, so you can actually pull them apart to let light in during the daytime. Let's move on to measuring your window for your cafe curtain.